history of Kong Hean. Once upon a time, there was a man named Kong who had 2 wives, Nyang and Nyang Kam. One day, Kong and his 2 wives went to visit relatives at a village in the remote area. Along the way, there was a vicious tiger. Kong accompanied his wives to a dense forest where the tiger always chased the people, cows, and buffaloes to eat. When they arrived there, the tiger came out of the forest and roared from the distance towards them. Not knowing where to flee from the tiger, Kong ran into a wood cave, urinating and shaking with fear. Nyang and Nyang Kam cooperated to hit the tiger until it was dead. Seeing the tiger die, Kong hurriedly came out of the wood cave and further hit the dead tiger with a wooden stick. The tiger was killed, his 2 wives blamed him. There is no need to hit it more. What a coward man you are, Kong shouted at his wives. No woman dares to kill the tiger. Only man is strong enough to kill it. Then Kong pulled out vines to tie the tiger and carried it into the village. When the dead tiger was carried into the village, all the villagers came to see it and asked, "How did you kill this tiger?" Because it was very cruel and ate countless people, cows and buffaloes. When our husband, Kong, saw the tiger run to us, said Kong's wives, he hid himself in the wood cave while we were joined together to beat it to death. When he heard his wives say so, he shouted at them, "No woman dared to kill the tiger. Only man is strong enough to kill it. When the tiger sprang over me, I used my methods of fighting so that I could hit it," Kong boasted to the villagers while showing them the martial arts. Every one of the villagers was very proud for Kong, so he was named Kong Hean. Since then, Kong Hean was very famous in that village. His fame was spread out to the king, and Kong Hean was invited to serve the army. A little later, there was a war to fight against the invasion of the enemy. The king ordered Kong Hean to fight with the enemies. When the royal order was given to Kong Hean, he was very frightened and did not know how to escape from this fighting because it was the king's order. And on the other hand, he was a famous person. He went back home and laid tiredly and hopelessly. "What is the matter that makes you lie hopelessly?" When they entered, "Because the king ordered me to make war now," Kong Hean told his wives, "and I am scared with this battle. I don't know what to do." "Don't worry, my dear," replied his wives. "Give us his responsibility and get up to have meal happily and take a bath nicely." After preparing, and it was good time for Kong Hean to salute the king for the battlefield and request to take his wives with him. Kong Hean sat on the head of the elephant, while his wives, at the back behind him, escorted by many soldiers before and after his elephant as the parade of the armies along the road. When the parade was getting nearer the enemies, Kong Hean was frightened nearly to die, excreting and urinating, and was shivering with fear as if someone the elephant's head. Supposing that Kong Hean was shaking it to go toward the enemies, the elephant ran ahead of the soldiers, and no one could follow it. Whereas his 2 wives were bravely and actively using bows and arrows to shoot the enemies. When the enemies saw Kong Hean galloping the elephant, they thought that he was a strong commander, so they were nervous and defeated and ran for their lives. When Kong Hean saw that the enemies were defeated and ran away, he was very proud and boasted at the officials. "Mr. Commander, why did you excrete in feces and urinate?" asked the officials when they saw Kong Hean excrete and urinate so badly. If we went to excrete and urinate while fighting in the battle, the enemies may come and kill us, replied Kong Hean. When the officials and soldiers heard that, some, intelligent, knew that Kong Hean was afraid of the enemies, and some, not so clever, were very proud of Kong Hean. Kong. After winning the battle, Kong Hean returned to the kingdom. As the king knew that Kong Hean defeated the enemies, he was very happy and appointed Kong Hean a high-ranking official. Since then, Kong Hean was even more boastful. Later, there was a cruel crocodile, which usually ate people and merchants who operated the business by the waterway. People were very afraid of it, and no one dared to go into the water or to get on the boat there. When the king knew this, he ordered Kong Hean to catch the crocodile. Having heard this order, Kong Hean felt very nervous, but dare not refuse it, so he accepted the order. When he got home, Kong Hean told his wives, "My dear, now the king gave me an order to catch the very cruel crocodile in the water. This time I cannot escape from dying, as the crocodile will bite me to death. Previously, it was better to see on the land, but this time it is in the water. How can I come back alive? It was the king's order. How can I deny? Thus, I'll go and jump into the water for the crocodile's food at once." Then, Kong Hean pretendedly called for his children and nephews to catch the crocodile. When everyone knew that Kong Hean when to catch the crocodiles, they crowdedly went to see him. When Kong Hean reached the harbor, he saw the crocodile swimming close to the shore, and right to a place where there were 2 trees growing next to one another, with a crotch. Kong Hean jumped into the water there, intending to allow the crocodile to eat him. But when the crocodile heard the sound of jumping into the water, it was startled, and then jumped up into the crotch in the middle of its bodies, and could not move forward or backward. Kong Hean was dived into the water, rose up seeing the crocodiles was sticking up in the crotch of the trees. He called for his relatives to raise the spears and thrust the crocodile to death. People there, supposing that Kong Hean caught the crocodile and threw it up on the trees, were very fearful of him. When he saw that the crocodile was killed, Kong Hean was even more boastful and told the king that he caught the crocodile and threw it up on the land. The king, then, was much happier and appointed Kong Hean higher-ranking official and provided him with power as well as many rewards. The moral of story is fear is stronger than love. The ends. Thanks you for your watching.